Hi, my name is Mariah Graham, and this is my oral case study for Seminar in Organizational Behavior. What are the strengths of Roizen's network across different stages of her career? To answer this question, I looked at 3 different positions that Roizen held. The first is Heidi as the co-founder of Table Maker. During this time, her network was in its beginning stages. I believe that her network was powerful, and it started with her position at Tandem. She had a friend who worked at Tandem. That friend was able to connect her to the hiring manager, and from there, she was able to connect herself to the CEO. Later on, she was able to ask that CEO for a letter of recommendation for graduate school. This led to her accruing skills that would help her start and run Table Maker. I also believe that her network was resourceful. Heidi needed to spread the word of Table Maker, and she added to her network members of the press who were able to publish reviews of her company. I also believe that the strength of Roizen's network came from some of her own personal strengths. To start, her desire to meet people started her network movement. Ultimately, it was the memorable and resourceful conversations that won people over. One of her biggest outcomes of her personal strengths was that she was well liked by those that eventually joined her network. The second position is her VP position at Apple. During this time, her network was really put to the test. She needed to see exactly how strong her network really was and if everything had been worth it. She needed to finally call on her network for favors. I think that she discovered that her network possessed one of the most crucial assets, and that is trust. The level of trust that exists in your network shows just how strong it really is. You need your network to trust you, and Roizen had that trust. During this time, Apple was weak, and she persuaded people in her network to not depart from the company. They trusted her enough to lead them, and they risked their businesses. I also believe that her network possessed diverse skill sets during this time. It consisted of CEOs, members of press, publishers, and people from different sections of the IT realm. The third position is Heidi as the president of the SPA. In one of the readings it says, "To build a network rich in social capital, cultivate powerful brokers who aren't in positions of formal authority." During this time, Heidi's network was definitely strong in social capital. During the 80s, she made connections with people who were not well known then, but had become leaders by the time she had become president of the SPA. Roizen said, "It's easier to get to know people when they're not famous. Then when they do become famous, you already have a relationship with them." I'm not sure if Heidi was aware, but these people were her super connectors or her brokers. Using the concepts discussed in the readings and video in Module 5, discuss the extent to which these concepts apply to Roizen and how these concepts influenced her power, influence, and networking success. From the material, I gathered 3 concepts. The first is to be a smart giver. The second is to be persuasive. And the third is to be an efficient network builder. In reference to the first concept, Roizen was definitely a giver. She was so focused on building her network that it became her business. She built her network by giving to others so that she could continue to give once her network was up and running. Even though she was not afraid to say no, she still gave to those in her network as much as she could. She never focused on taking, but when the time came to call upon her network for favors, she was not so caught up in being a giver that she could not ask for or receive the assistance. Looking at the second concept, Heidi was very persuasive. She followed the 6 principles of persuasion. She was liked, she showed reciprocity, social proof was present, she was consistent in her works, she displayed authority by showing her expertise and knowledge. And somewhere down the line, there was scarcity. She was a valued person, and people wanted more and more of her time. She had persuaded people to join her network and allow her into theirs. Looking at the third concept, she was definitely an efficient network builder. She did this by having access to people, improving her performance, and staying consistent. After all, that was her business. It started with her single connection at Tandem and sprang from there. She made sure that she was not just liked, but remembered as well. She made sure that her network consisted of diverse skill sets. She had brokers within her network. Her network was definitely rich in social capital. Following these concepts influenced her power by giving her the ability to connect and link people. She wasn't the highest on the ladder, but she had ties. It influenced her influence by being well liked and giving other reasons to want to work with her and be a part of her network. People trusted her knowledge and often sought her opinion on things. They followed her and her vision. This influenced her networking success by giving her the ability to craft and perfect her networking skills. She learned how to network for herself and for others. She became a market maker. She went from just maintaining her network to carefully managing it. This concludes my oral case study. Thank you.